Ipswich 1, Man United 1, match reaction, player ratings. I'm going to focus mostly on the positives in this one because the negatives are nothing we didn't expect, honestly. Welcome to the United of Sport. My name is Webb, guys. It's a reaction I think that for me is largely positive because, yes, we did not win this game. 1-all draw. We took the lead and dropped it. But, guys, clearly, we know the problems we need to solve. One, poor midfield. What did you expect from Casemiro and Eriksen? They are as slow as they come. They can't run. They can barely run. But the players, the younger players, were not fit enough. Kobe Maino is not 100% fit, just returned from injury. Manuel Ugarte only arrived for one training session with the team from his native Uruguay. So you cannot fault Amorim for using the players he used at the start. But we know that for the longer good, it's not going to be them. But let's look at the positives, guys. The idea, he told us we are going to see an idea of how he wants to play. For me, it was clear. The goal we scored, proper work of training. If you remember, if you watch the video of his first training session, the build up to the goal that they scored was clearly what they were training to. I said it just after seeing the starting 11. I said it. Ahmad is going to enjoy that space in front of him. That's what he lives for, and indeed, that's what he did to assist that goal for Marcus Rashford. So, proper positive. 3, I thought we kept the ball a little better. I thought we played with a little bit more intensity. Guys, not amazing intensity, don't get it twisted, but we're a little bit better. We played with the ball a lot more. We looked like we were building something. I told you in that new formation with a 3-4-2-1, we play for a target man. The way you saw the goal that was scored. That's how you create chances. You play for a target man. Now, with time, it will improve, especially if the right personnel come in. Obviously, from the Man United players, and I'm going to name for you the players I believe will start Man United in this current squad, especially in the starting 11 that we saw today. Most of those players are clearly, we all know it, are going to be leaving anytime soon. And Amorim even alluded to the same. There is need to improve the recruitment system at the club. There is a lot to improve. But honestly, for someone who had only 1 week with the players, I saw significant improvement. I credit him for being able to enforce his style on this team. We saw clearly his style, how we start with the back three. When we lose the ball, we drop into a back five. Amad Diallo working hard like his life depends on this. Tracking back and defending, winning balls in the back. Credit Amad Diallo. But listen, player ratings, man of the match, without a shadow of a doubt, Andre Onana. Saved us again. Saved us. This guy is every day getting better. In fact, if you noticed, at the end of the game, I'll talk about Amorim and what I've noticed about him and his personality later. But he's the only player that Amorim shook hands with or credited. He's the only player that Amorim credited after the game. The rest of the players, he just shouted at them to go and applaud the visiting fans. Andrew Nana, I would give, he was the man of the match. I would give him a proper, he made no mistake. Even the goal he considered, he took a deflection. If he hadn't taken a deflection, he had got there on time. So I would give him a 8.5 out of 10. For me, he was near perfect in his ball distribution, in his saving, in everything. He was on time, always on time. Good reflexes, 8.5 out of 10 for Nana. The second best player for Man United for me was Nusal Mazraoui. What a player this boy is. Him and Onana have been our most consistent players since I think the end of the transfer window. Consistently putting on top performances. Mazraoui, wherever he has been put, I think with the exception of when he played as a 10, when Eric Ten Hag forced him into a number 10, I thought Mazraoui has been impeccable. Another impressive, spirited, hard-working performance from Nusal Mazraoui. I'll tell you, Ruben Amorim will like him. Delete, I think, had a good game, but I'll give Nusal Mazraoui, I think, if I've given Onana 8.5, I would give Mazraoui 8. Then I'm going to give Amad Diallo 7.5 out of 10. He was taking on people, trying to do the aggressive things, the risky things. I thought I think, gave a good account for himself. Indeed, he will keep that inverted right wing back position for himself without a shadow of a doubt. So I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. Then Delete I thought was okay as well. I would give Delete maybe a 6.5 or thereabout out of 10. In the middle, Eriksen was one of our weakest links, could barely run. as we could have expected. Again, when you saw the starting 11 having Casemiro and Eriksen, the first thing naturally that comes to your mind is how slow the midfield is going to be. Yet Amorim's style requires players to run their lungs out. So, but because again he explained before the game that certain players are not fit, but we will see the idea. Did we see the idea? 150%. So I would give both Casemiro and Eriksen, I would give probably 4.5 out of 10. They were honestly below average for me. Then up top, with the exception of scoring the goal, Marcus Rashford is not an elite footballer. I will say it with authority. Rashford is not an elite footballer. His anticipation is for a basic Sunday league player. I will say it. His anticipation is bad. For several times, he failed to read the passes that Bruno was giving him, Ahmad was giving him. He failed to read little spat passes any professional player at his level should have read. With the exception of the goal, everything else for me was terrible. I would give him 5 just because he scored a goal. But Rashford for me was off. Then Bruno got lost in the first half. And I thought, actually, I keep advocating here for Bruno to play next to the to be a blocking midfielder. I've said it here before, saying he should be playing next to, should be dropped below and let probably Garnacho, rather, Kobe Maino players in the 10 position. But of course, in this new shape, they will be so they're sort of two number 10s. I'm thinking still, Bruno was lost in the first half until Eriksen was dropped off and Bruno had to drop back and replace Eriksen. Then Zirkzee comes on with Hoyland, which I thought looked good because I always love to see them play together. But my feeling is that Bruno was better when Eriksen went off because Bruno can play long passes from deep. He's a hard worker, but also Bruno doesn't seem to work so well in a structure. I've noticed from this game. I might be wrong. With time, we will look at it and see it. But I felt like one of the reasons he got lost in the first stanza was because of the structure. He doesn't look so good in the structure. He wants to be all over the place in a free roll. That's why you see him do a lot of things, get a lot on the ball. And that's why he was frowning. At times, they were not passing the ball to him, if you notice, and he was frowning and throwing his arms around. I mean, and you see that he's not yet adjusted to the new playing style because it doesn't give him a lot of time on the ball. But it's not about any individual no more. It's about the team. Garnacho tried to track back. I would give that to him. He tried to track back. You saw it by the 30th minute. He was tired, clearly. But he tried to track back. I'll give it to him. He surprised everyone. The only issue is, again, when he had the ball, wrong decisions, failing to release the ball at the right time. There is a point he should have released the ball to Rashford. He failed. He got sluggish. Then dribbling through the middle axis straight like this, it's difficult to dribble unless you're Messi. But even Messi doesn't dribble straight like this. You just run into people, into bodies. So, and you're thinking, doesn't he know that as a footballer at that level? So I would give Garnacho maybe 5 out of 10. It was average for me. I would give Bruno 5 out of 10 as well, average, and the 5 comes from the second half. In the first half, he was not there. He was invisible. I would give who else? Who have I? Evans struggled a bit, of course, playing left back. What would you expect? I would give him 5 as well. He was average. So the only players clearly who will play in this team after 1 year, after the next summer, or after the second transfer, because they may not release so many players at a go. I'll tell you, it's Onana, Nosal Mazraoui, Mathis Delit, Amad Diallo, of course, Ugarte will be there. Of course, he brought a bit of energy in the middle. He was running. Some bit of fresh feet came in when he came on from the bench. So those are 5. Then we are not yet sure with Hoyland, but of course he's young. He might be given a chance. Then I must have mentioned Mazraoui. I feel like those are the only players who will work and flourish under this system. Dalot, I'm not quite sure of Dalot. I mean, he's a shadow of himself. He's never consistent anyway. I don't see him as a long-term plan in the project. So clearly, like Amorim, explained, there has got to be a need to improve the recruiting system because clearly the problem is the players. We saw the structure, give it to Amorim in terms of organizing the team to play a certain way. United at least had an identity. We could see what they were trying to do in the first week of training. For me, that's the biggest score for Ruben Amorim. Out of 10, for his first game in charge, I would give him a decent 5.5 out of 10 for Amorim. That's my honest opinion. So let me know what you thought about the first game there for the new man in charge. And bear in mind that Ipswich Town came into the game as the team topping the stats for the largest runner, the biggest runners in the Premier League. They ran the most of any team in the Premier League. How we were able to match them and try to contain them, they need credit. These lazy bodies of ours need credit. And Amorim, most importantly, for helping them try at least to match them. Because, trust you me, man, they could have, I can imagine if these guys were not motivated by Amorim. But what I've noticed about Amorim is one, he's a man of authority. His presence, he owns this. You saw how he backed at them, telling them to go and applaud the visiting fans. How he did not even shake hands with any players except Onana as they were going out. He seems to be a short-tempered guy. I think he's a short. He just contains himself. You know those people who are hot-tempered but contain themselves. United scores and he doesn't even flinch. He doesn't even move a muscle. He's not moved. He has got such a character, but also his presence and authority on the touchline, giving bellowing instructions to players within the game. Garnacho took a lot of them, Dalot and the likes. There is certain energy passes on to the players as the game goes on. I like his character. I see a little bit of Mikel Arteta in him, and I love it. Good energy there. The entire team, performance-wise, they were slightly better than average. 6 out of 10, I would give them. They tried, honestly. We know the players who need to leave. I won't go into them. Let me just leave it on the positives for the most part. My name is Webb. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me catch you later.